I joined the training program 7 years ago with a specific reason in mind. I was completely lost, with no idea what was going on in my life. I had just graduated from university, diploma in hand, and I found myself at a crossroads wondering what to do next. I was completely clueless. I had no direction, no purpose, nothing I felt I needed. I realized my chosen profession wasn't for me. I had no clue what to do next. For about another year, I just lay on the couch, binge watching TV shows, doing nothing, stuck in a rut, isolated, with no one around and no social interaction. I would just lie around all day, rarely going out except maybe to the store to buy some food, then back to lying around, feeling worse with each passing moment. The apathy deepened, consuming everything. The longer this went on, the harder it became to face people. It was like a black hole dragging me deeper into an unknown abyss. Your only goal became surviving another day, stumbling through until it was over. And that was it, a day done. But tomorrow, it all starts again. It's the same old story, but fine, let's drag ourselves through it once more. The absence of self-realization and purpose in life. I always filled that void by binge-watching TV shows and movies. The screen comes to life, and you feel like you're part of it, but from a distance. It's an illusion of being in another world, and you constantly retreat into it. This could go on for months. I've always been terrified of people, just in general. It got to the point where, when I'd go outside, I'd take the least crowded route, like down a deserted alley, desperately hoping not to run into anyone, to avoid any human contact, so no one would ask me anything or, well, anything at all. I always kept my phone on silent. That way, if someone called, I could just ignore it, no questions asked. I was trying my hand at freelancing then, and all my clients communicated strictly via text. I couldn't handle voice calls with anyone. If they suggested a voice call, I'd be like, look, I'm going to have to pass on this job. I'd make up excuses to avoid any interaction. It seems to stem from fear, an aversion to socializing, and even a dislike for others. You live in your own bubble, disconnected from everyone else. For me, it started in childhood. I didn't go to kindergarten, even though there was one right outside my window. Almost every day, I peer out the window, watching the children play and have fun. They're out there on the slides, having a blast. Meanwhile, I'm behind this glass, feeling like I'm in a whole different world, completely cut off from them. I can't even join in or connect with them the same way, play and do all the stuff they're doing. And this feeling, right? It's been with me my entire life, as far back as I can remember. In school, in college, I have maybe 1 or 2 people I knew that I'd talk to. Everyone else was just, I don't know, just a blur of faces. Above all, leave me alone. My go-to phrase was always just, leave me alone. No need to talk to me, call me, or text me. Just don't bother me at all. The more someone tried to get close to me or to interact, the more I wanted to bolt to avoid the pain of connection. It was this constant fear of getting hurt by others. So I always ended up running away. That's why I kept my distance from people. The most I would do was chat online, just texting and only with a few selected people. Back then, all my girlfriends from college would get really mad at me, saying things like, why don't you ever hang out with us? Where do you always disappear to? Why are you never around? There was this one time when a friend came to visit me. Well, not exactly to visit me, she just came to the city, actually. I hadn't seen her in ages. We were supposed to meet up and catch up, partly about work stuff. As the meeting time drew nearer, the more inevitable it felt, the more I don't know, this inexplicable fear took over. I couldn't understand what was happening. It felt like a heavy weight pressing down on me. I wanted to escape, to hide away on the couch or under a blanket. I'd sit there, frozen, hoping she wouldn't come. As the moment approached when she was about to call and we were to meet, the deeper I sank into fear and panic. In the end, she called, but I simply didn't answer. Days went by. She left town, and after a while, she messaged me asking what on earth happened. And what am I supposed to say? I'm like, well, it just happened. I'd say I couldn't find the time or whatever. You end up making these dumb excuses. You start inventing stuff, like, I don't know, a tree fell on you or something. Just anything, really. It's all such BS. As for work, I've tried to return to the office many times. It was at that point when I realized something wasn't right, that I was trying to force myself to go to work and be around others. And then something amazing happened. I really appreciated the moment that marked the beginning of my change. I got a job, showed up for work, met everyone. They showed me to my desk and gave me my first assignment. As I sat there, I realized I was being consumed by an overwhelming fear. And I felt this intense pressure building inside me. My insides were in knots, and I felt like I was falling apart. I'm frozen in a state of complete paralysis. I can't move a muscle. It's absolute terror. I'm surrounded by people, and they're terrifying me. I can't stand being around them, and I must have sat there for hours. I picked up my bag and said, "Hey, guys, is there a store nearby? I'm going to grab some lunch." They're like, "Yeah, just around the corner." I left and never went back. I never called or explained what happened. I rushed home and cried all day. It was just too much. I used to think, all right, fine. I'm hiding away from everyone and it's kind of comfortable. I'm independent. I don't need anyone and no one needs me, so it's all good. But now I realize that it was this huge void, a massive absence of joy, missing out on the pleasure of human interaction, being part of a community, working, connecting, and communicating with others, because everything around us is made up of other people. Yuri often reminds us that other people are all we have, and how we interact with them is crucial to our quality of life and overall well-being. So either you're comfortable around them, enjoying yourself and having a great time, or you're miserable, constantly suffering, crying, isolating yourself, and missing out on self-fulfillment and happiness. So when you can't figure people out, and you're wondering, who are these people? And why are they always in my space? You've already robbed yourself of life's joys if you can't connect with them. It wasn't until after the training that I finally understood. I realized I needed to move toward people to connect with them. I'm aware of my issue. I fear people. I want to avoid them, yet I know I must move in their direction. And this journey toward others, from solitude to social connection, it was a time of certain realizations that came gradually, step by step. But that guiding principle I gained. After the training, it kept me on track. Deep down, I always knew that was where I needed to be. After another failed attempt at social interaction that left me rattled, I would return and realize, no, this isn't right. That's the way I should go. One of the first interesting experiences I had was after a session early in the morning. I was in this state. I went outside and on a whim hopped on a random minibus just to go anywhere, really. Wherever the road led, I turned to face the other passengers. And I remember sitting there, looking at them without my headphones, probably for the first time ever. I gazed around, amazed, realizing these were fascinating, diverse people, and so different. The feeling was just incredible. After the training, I stopped disliking people and no longer felt like they were all idiots. Not meeting my expectations. I used to want everyone to fit my ideal, not be different or act in ways I didn't approve of. I'd get annoyed when they did things a certain way, or, I don't know, when they talked differently than I thought they should. or when they had interests I couldn't understand. I'd wonder what on earth they were talking about. That feeling that people were somehow not like that just vanished. You start to realize that, well, people are who they are, and that's awesome. It's their nature, their inner self, their unique way of seeing the world. They can't act any other way. And this new perspective that you gain from the training and understanding that everyone's different, including you, allows you to interact with others in more meaningful ways. It helps you fit into society much better, almost effortlessly, because my biggest struggle has always been wanting to belong, being part of something, to connect with others, to engage. But you just can't do it, and you're clueless about how because they're so different from you. Why the hell should I even bother talking to them? Like on their terms or whatever. So this whole thing has always been a mystery. I mean, how to talk to them was a puzzle. But now, when you do the training, it just clicks somehow. I guess it happens automatically. You suddenly start to see them, truly understand how to approach each person. You need to tell this person exactly this, and here you might be able to help them somehow, and they'll really warm up to you. It's amazing. It's a whole new experience. I go to work every day with these feelings. Now, as part of a team, making new discoveries daily, people reveal different sides of themselves over time. You understand them better each day, and you start to become more a part of it all. You feel like you belong in this community. You no longer feel like an outsider, like you don't belong before. Instead, you're right here, present. You're interacting with everyone. You're working with them, tackling projects together. And that feeling of not fitting in, it's gone. You belong here now. This is your spot, your role to fill. Everyone plays their part, bringing their skills to the table, putting those skills to good use. In the end, teamwork creates an amazing big picture, leading to shared success. And you're right there in the mix. No more feeling like the odd one out. You're connected to the world around you. You realize you can make a difference too. You can make your own meaningful contribution and excel at it. And that's truly amazing. Yuri Berlin's method helps you understand yourself, your place in life, and your role among others. It reveals your true self and guides your path, showing which directions to pursue and which to avoid. As a result, you no longer have that nagging doubt, wondering if you should try something or if it will succeed or fail. You can now foresee whether something is worth your time, knowing when to avoid paths that don't fit who you are and when to invest energy in the right direction. After the training, I was able to choose from various options. The ideal workplace, which I am currently in, and consider the best fit for me. It's perfect, offering opportunities for self-realization, continuous learning, and financial growth with benefits. I wouldn't have even considered these before the training. I didn't even know such options existed. Now, life itself is more exciting than any TV show because you're an active participant. Unlike in a TV series where you're just a passive observer, standing by as events unfold around you. But in real life, you're the star of your own story, shaping everything around you. You get to decide where to go next, what to do with your time, who to hang out with, and how to spend your evenings. I hardly spend time at home these days. What's the point? When you can step out into the world and find endless possibilities. You know? You can always dive into the whirlwind of events out there. and you're right in the middle of it all. You're not just watching from the sidelines. You're an active participant. You have the power to choose how your life unfolds, if you will. You're in control here. You become the director of your own life story. It's a whole new level of living. As it was promised in the intro webinars. And it's true. How can you compare? Before, you were cooped up at home, wrapped in a blanket, binge-watching shows on your screen. But after the training, you step into the real world, vast, not a screen. It's all around you, immersive, incredible, full of real people. You connect with them, engage, have conversations, ask questions, and get real answers. You're safe there. No one can harm you. I can't explain exactly how it works. But that fear just vanishes completely. Simple as that. It's just incredible.